Okay, so for this video, I'm going to be comparing the original color gels to their new buttercream counterparts. I've not yet swatched the buttercream counterparts, but I have already swatched these. But for this video, we are going to re-swatch. So there are quite a few of them. In fact, you know what? Let me go to the website and figure out which ones those are since I'm sitting at my computer. So let's see, buttercream. Okay. The first two they released were Lover's Lane and Marshmallow. I have a lot of Lover's Lane, and I actually like it in the color gel format because I only use it in one layer. I primarily use it only for space nails. I've never really used it on its own. Mixing it up and stuff, I didn't really care about that. Marshmallow, that's also a one coater. Putting in buttercream format really, in my opinion, was a waste of money. I don't see myself using it, not even for ombre fades. I know how to do an ombre fade with, just the gels. You can see it on my Instagram. I know how to do that. Now, in the second round, they released Devil's Guava and G.I. Jane, as well as Sparkle and White Swimsuit. I was not going to buy White Swimsuit. I already had Female and Fabulous, so I decided that's not going to happen. And it just looks white with like a shimmer you can barely see. For Sparkle, with this ring, Fuzion Snow Globe, and the Sparkle Color Gel all look exactly alike. So there was literally no reason for me to rebuy it. Devil Wears Guava. I really like Devil Wears Guava. And so I decided to rebuy that one. That was just for me. So when we go over these, we're going to start with G.I. Jane and Devil Wears Guava. In the second set, they released Lazy Day Lavender, Sassy Squatch, Nude with Attitude, and Peekaboo. Now, I did buy Nude with Attitude in the buttercream format because I sold the color gel. So that one's on me. But I don't have the color gel to compare it to. I do have the swatch though, so I will probably add that in later. So let's actually start with G.I. Jane and Devil Wears Guava. Now, my color gel is quite old. You can see how old it is because Ellie had several different versions. They had the UV, which came in the clearest jar. All mine have been sold. They're gone. Then they had these that came with the plug caps. When I bought this, it arrived with like a plastic seal on the outside that you had to tear off. Gels would leak through the plastic seal. Normally this cap I would have removed it a while ago, but I think I didn't because it was stuck in there. Then they started releasing them with a paper seal. And I have a jar of Study Buddy and Geek Chic, which came in the same collection, that have the paper seal. Then they had a foil seal, but like the plastic on the foil seal would disintegrate and fall into the gel, and I have a jar with the bee's knees of that. And then they came out with the foil seal we all know and love now. But color gels have been discontinued, so that's that. Alright, but here's the buttercream. Alright, so color-wise, they look the same-ish. I feel like this goes on in one coat. There's a bit of lightness up there. In fact, let me change this. There we go. To a white light. Okay, I feel like there is a bit of lightness up there, but overall, seems to, they're right there. It seems to be pulling away. Let's just go over that. Alright, I'm going to have to probably put a second coat down, but it looks like it covers up in one coat. It doesn't really look like the color gel, if I'm going to be honest. Let's get this in the center there. I don't know. I have to take a look at the swatch sticks because you can't really tell in the jar, but let's see. So for the swatch stick for the color gel, I already have these swatched, but I'm going to re-swatch them for the video. So what I did was I took a layer of some old soft pink extreme with some old baby pink extreme that I used from some emptying jars that I mixed together. And I just use that as a base layer so that I can pop it off the swatch stick. Going out second coat. Surety coat. That's much better on the second coat. Again, I run into that problem of this is 5 ml. If I've used it twice, then it's really 2.5 ml. The color gel. So for the color gels, I did use a sandwich technique, and then I just started straight up embedding them because it just was easier. What I did like about the color gels was that you could marble with them and not have to worry too much about them curing, because it was a hard gel mixed with the color. One thing about the color gels, and I'm kind of glad that they're phased out, is that the rhetoric on them kept changing. It was the color gels add some strength, and then there was the color gels don't add any strength. And it was just, and these were all coming from the same sources, mind you. Sources that are still available today. So, do the color gels add strength? Do they not add strength? I have yet to, I don't know. I don't know. Alright, now here is what this looks like. Now mind you, I'm putting over Soft Pink Extreme. You can see right through that. You can see my glove right through that, especially at the center. So of course we have to go in with the second coat. But that's okay, because this is 17 ml. If I have to do 2 coats, 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. Yes, it's 8.5. And this cost me $15. Okay, I can absorb that. Actually, I think I got this for free. Alright, while we wait for that to cure. Alright, now that's done. So now let me do the second layer. So for the color gel, some people put it down like this, where they would build with it, and that's actually okay, provided your lamp is strong enough to cure it. I don't use the Light Elegance lamp. I use a Creation 405 nanometer lamp, which I found out on the spot does not cure UV gels, hence which caused me to sell my entire UV collection, which was not a lot, but I had things like Leapfrog, Under the Boardwalk, designer purses, some really old ones. Alright, but now here's the second coat. You see, it covers. Now let's cure this and then compare it to top coat, and then compare it to the buttercream. Okay, now all swatched out. They definitely look like the same color, of course. This is the buttercream here, and this is the color gel here. And honestly, they look the same in the light. They both kind of had the same level of streakiness. The buttercream, though, went down a bit smoother. The color gel for G.I. Jane, I kind of always had issues with it being like patchy. So this is a marked improvement. So if I were you, I would get the buttercream version of this one. Alright, so now Devil Wears Guava, it has a glitter. So for this, we use the glitter brush. Now, Devil Wears Guava, I found, did not sink in the jar like some other glitters. Center of Attention, for example, if I were to go and get it right now, I'm sure you would see that the color has separated entirely. But now Devil Wears Guava, you can still see some of the hints of the glitter on the top. And this has barely been used. It's just not a popular color. So, you see at the bottom, you see that all the glitter has fallen down to the bottom. So much for staying suspended. So I'm just going to drag some of it to the top, so we get a fair mix. Let's just wipe this off. Alright, so we're going to start with the buttercream first. Now, when I saw videos of this, I thought, wow, that looked gritty. But it did not feel gritty. I might have been out of shot for that one, I apologize. Alright, but I can immediately see I'm going to need a second coat. Always a pretty color, but I'm definitely gonna need a second coat at the same time. You know what's crazy? They swatch the same. Yeah, the other one goes on darker, but I bet that once I put on the second coat, I'm gonna have the same type of coverage. Yeah, second. I'm about to do my second coat, but you know what? Let me just grab this one out. Okay, maybe they don't swatch the same. The color gel one is clearer than the buttercream one. You might be able to get away with one coat with this, but with the color gel, you definitely need a second coat. But I feel like I'm gonna need a second coat of both. So here we go. We'll say this: it looks the way the way you see the line of light, how it looks gritty. It looks the way it feels. You don't feel that grit, but you definitely see it. So you definitely have to top coat this. Well, obviously you would, but it looks the way you see it is the way it feels. It feels gritty. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna concede on this one. You'd probably be better off with the buttercream if you want that full coverage of this color. But in two coats, there's just something more gossamer like about Devil Wears Guava in the color gel. Like it's brighter. Just compare. Let me just grab it one so I can compare. Yeah, there's just something different about the other Devil Wears Guava. In the color gel, it's lighter and it seems more airy in color. But in the buttercream, it seems more like coverage was the point to be made. So let me cure these both and top coat them both. Okay, as it regards to Devil Wears Guava, if you were to ask me, I would swear that these were two different pinks now that I've top coated them. The buttercream one, this one, is significantly darker. It feels like more of a red pink, whereas the color gel feels more like a pink. If you have both, I would keep both. Everything has a purpose. So if you don't like the way that this color looks where it's significantly darker, but has more coverage, and you like the way that this color looks where it has more coverage, where it has less coverage, but has a more it has a lighter pink, keep the color gel, pass on the buttercream. See as to how I'm probably going to be using the color gel more as opposed to the buttercream. I like this color for like if I've laid down, like, I use Fuzion as well. If I've laid down 5 undercover, what I do is I take either all dolled up or I take Devil Wears Guava and I just put Devil Wears Guava on a singular layer. People don't like that, but I just put it on a singular layer just to give a little bit of gold shimmer to the nail. But if you like this lighter pink, get the color gel. If you don't like this lighter pink and you want coverage and a darker color, get the buttercream. That's my opinion on that. Everything has a purpose, so if you want to get both, get both. The glitter brushes is Sassy Squatch. I've never had any problems with Sassy Squatch. So, getting in the buttercream formula just kind of seemed like, let's just do it. When putting down this color, I did notice that it was very thin, and you can see I've used mine a lot. Not only for nails, but also for mixing. I use it to make other colors, and I'm absolutely not going to be doing that with this 5 ml jar. So for me, the color gel serves a purpose, and I probably have maybe 2 or 3 more still. I think this was like my second jar. Yeah, I probably have 2 or 3 more still. I think this jar was recently mixed. It does kind of fall apart in the same vein as Devil Wears Guava, but not as badly. So let's start with the buttercream swatch. Actually, yeah. That's the wrong brush then. A lot of my stuff, I will say, I did get for cheap. So if you're wondering, like, how's she affording all this stuff? I got a lot of it for cheap. Sweet Squared when they were when they were kicking Ellie out of their product line, they sold a lot of stuff for cheap. I live in New York. I I was able to use a forwarding company. Initially I used a relative who lived in the United Kingdom, but she was kind of unreliable. So I used a forwarding company that was extremely reliable, forward to me. Not only did they forward me products from Germany, they forwarded me products from the United Kingdom. Sweet Square now no longer carries any Light Elegance products. So that ship has sailed. Alright, now regarding the Sassy Squash Buttercream, I've put down one layer. This is one layer. That is so sheer. That is so sheer. That is not what I was expecting at all. I really don't like that at all. Alright, I'm going to cure it up and I'm going to move to the color gel. One thing. Everything I'm swatching is swatching on a wet layer. I prefer to do my buttercreams on a wet layer. Okay, now the color gel, I would expect it to be thin and sheer. I'm not supposed to expect that of the buttercreams. Okay, let's take a look at one layer. Put this brush down. Alright, at one layer, the color gel is on the left and the buttercream is on the right. The coverage of the buttercream is more complete than the coverage of the color gel. And that's what I will wager. But both are extremely sheer. I'm going to need a second coat. So let's cure those both. Yeah, it's still really sheer. What the heck is going on? Yeah, this ain't it. Let me do the color gel next. The color gel I expect to be sheer. I guess one thing about the color gel, there were little black flecks in it. That was just unground pigment. Let me see that. Let me read the lot number on the bottom. Either unground pigment or contamination in the lot. I feel like the color gel looks thicker, but I feel like I get better coverage with the color gel. Let me cure this. Actually, before I cure, see what they look like together. Alright, the color gel is on the left and the buttercream is on the right. The color gel, of course, looks thicker because it's more and the buttercream is thinner. But the buttercream is sheerer, especially at the base here. The color gel has a spot right there, but the buttercream is very sheer. There is virtually, aside from the thickness that the color gel gives you, there is no difference between the two. If you don't have Sassy Squatch in color gel, then go get the buttercream. But if you have in color gel, pass. Hard pass. They're all top coated. I will still say that the buttercream is quite sheer. That's disappointing performance for a buttercream. The color gel is also sheer, but that is to be expected. But it's less sheer than the color gel. It's less sheer than the buttercream. Like I said, if you don't have this in color gel, just buy the buttercream. If you want the thinness of the buttercream, however, because you can see that the color gel is much thicker. If you want the thinness of the buttercream, then go ahead and get the buttercream. I have both, so I don't care either way. But I'm probably gonna stick to using the color gel, because then I can marble it, and that's usually what I did with this color. Alright, so now let us move on to the next color. And that will be Lazy Day Lavender. Saving Peekaboo for last. So now let's start with the buttercream. Okay. So, yes, perfection. This is the one coat coverage people have been waiting for. And look at that. Alright, so I'm going to cure this and compare it to the color gel, although I don't really think I need to. Let's just wipe that off to save it. Alright, now this is my not queen bee. The color gel itself was also very covering. So honestly, if you have the color gel of this, I wouldn't break my neck going to get the buttercream. As you can see, it's very covering. Okay, it's covering, it just lacks the thinness of the buttercreams. Yeah. See how that looks in one coat? Let's grab the buttercream back. Let's put this down. Okay. You can tell the buttercream is thinner than, you can tell which one's the buttercream and which one's a color gel. The buttercream is obviously the one on the right, it's thinner, and the color gel is the one on the left. Both of them only required one coat. They really did. So if you have the color gel, don't break your neck trying to go get the buttercream. Alright, now that was quick, so let me cover these up. And top coat. Alright, now in comparison, they're both a one coater. If you already have the color gel and you can do it in one coat and you like the way it looks, one or two coats, and you like the way it looks when you do it thinly, by all means, just keep what you already have because it's going to last. If you don't have the color and you want to get the buttercream, go get the buttercream. Now that we're actually at this point, I need to figure out which one is a color gel. Which one's a buttercream? All right. This one's a buttercream. This one's a color gel. I can tell because of the what I put on the back, so it looks more. Yeah, so it looks more cloudy. This is the color gel right here. Okay. Peekaboo. All right, so Peekaboo is a classic. I remember I had it in the UV version, then I had it in the dot version, then I used both of those, and then we have today's version. So obviously today's version is not yesterday's version. I don't need to mix this up. So what I'm going to do first is swatch the buttercream. I'm using the brush in dark because it's a dark color. Now, let's see. For me, Peekaboo was always one of those primary colors. You had to have it, and oh boy. That's not good. I saved it for last because I hoped it would be good. I've got unground pigment. You see that dot right there? I don't know if you can see it, but there's a large dot right there. That's unground pigment. Could have possibly also be a contamination from my brush, but let's just wipe that out and save that for later. Yeah, back to this. Okay. Looks like we're regaining ground. Okay. Oh boy, that's sheer. Okay, that just might be dust. Okay, yeah, it's sheer. Let's get that piece out again. You know what? I'm leaving it. This is a swatch. Alright, yeah, it's sheer. Oh boy. I tried. On the edges you can see right through it. Let's give it a cure and let's look at the color gel. Now, I did say in a previous video, if you have Anchors Away Buttercream, there's no need to get Peekaboo. Then I compared the color gel of Peekaboo to Anchors Away, and I kind of had to take that back. I'm going to go get Anchors Away after this. Now, the color gel itself is also quite sheer. To be expected. For the color gel, I would have put it down over, like, you know, Ideal Pink Extreme, or a darker color, 5 undercover, SL undercover, or SL neutral, never peach. Peach is too beautiful to actually wear the color over it. Alright, so the color gel. The color gel is also quite sheer. You see right through it. But let's take it, I'll look at it compared to the buttercream. Alright, the buttercream is thinner. And they both look exactly the same in terms of sheerness, opacity would be the word. But in terms of how sheer they are, yeah, they both look about the same. Also, there appear to be some dots of unground pigment, or just that might be contamination from my brush, in the buttercream. Okay, so now second layer of buttercream, because we are going to need a second one. I will note that this one is actually quite watery. And Lacy Day Lavender was very thick. It feels like different people are making different gels at this place. One crew might be the OG crew. They know what they're doing. And then the next crew might be the new hires who haven't been trained. The OG crew, they're like, we know what we're doing. We don't need supervision. And if the OG crew is listening, please tell the new hires how to make this. Because this one is watery. Okay. With the second coat, that's looking like the Peekaboo I know and love. Let's just save my money. Alright, since that was the last swatch, I'm going to do a brush. And let's do the color gel. Alright, now let's let that self-level. And the color gel is still sheer. Okay, this is the color. You can see it in some spots at the edge. Like right there. Or right there. Oh, and I got it all over my glove. Good. Okay. Let me cure this up, but you can see the color gel is actually pulling in on itself, and it's increasing the opacity of those edges. Alrighty, so on comparison, for this one, I would definitely get the Buttercream. I'm sure many people already have the color gel. In fact, let me go get Anchors Away. One moment. Okay, here's Anchors Away. So initially in the video I said, if you have Peekaboo, don't get Anchors Away. In camera they might look alike. Anchors Away is more white. So, in fact, let me tilt it and you can see it. Anchors Away has more white in it. This is not drastic, okay? If you can look beyond yourself and just, if you already have Anchors Away and you just want to look beyond yourself and don't want to get Peekaboo, that's perfectly fine. And that's what I would do if I were you. Now, I got Peekaboo because Peekaboo was always a staple in my collection. It was that primary blue, and I would just mix it with, a red to make a real purple, one that I still have not received from Light Elegance. Or I would mix it with yellow to make a real green. Things like that. Let's talk about what we have. So, the best one, best girl, Lazy Day Lavender. If you don't have it, if you have it in color gel, leave it alone. If you want it in Buttercream because you don't already have it, this is the one to get. This one's perfect. This one was made by the OGs. Don't know what that pigment is up there. That might be some unground pigment. Don't know what that is up there. But it did not affect the use of the Buttercream. This one is a definite get if you don't already have in the color gel. This one I would also get even if you already have this one in the color gel. Just because the color gel formula was just so crappy. It might be because mine is old, but it was just so crappy. If you have this one in color gel, skip. When I say Buttercream is watery, when you crack it open, you usually tend to have like spillage on the sides. This one is my fault, but you usually have spillage on the side. This one, you already see stuff up in the cap. This one, if I were to leave it to rest on its side, you see that my brush dent is already being covered up. But yeah, this one I would skip if you have the color gel. If you don't mind the difference in the color, get it. If you mind the difference in the color, because this does not match the original color at all, skip. Me personally, I'm probably gonna be using this one if I use like a peach color, as opposed to the pink like the original is. This one definitely get. If you don't already have Anchors Away, if you don't care about that, but you can see that this one's a watery color because my brush marks. And this was the last one I did. My brush marks have already started to fade away. Let's just check out the others. Lazy Day Lavender, you can see that one was a thick one. My brush marks have not started to fade away just yet. G.I. Jane. Thick. The first one I did, the brush mark is still there. Devil Wears Guava is thick for sure. But my brush marks have already started fading away, mostly because it has glitter in it. And for peak, yeah, that's it. I just got these 5. I think for me, in terms of Buttercreams, this might actually be like my last video. I only got these because there was a sale. I paid $10 a jar, so this was $50. And I didn't really mind that. But should they release more Buttercreams to emulate the color gels, I'm probably going to skip it. Unless one of them is Yellow Jacket. If one of them is Yellow Jacket, I will definitely get that. If one of them is not Yellow Jacket, I'm going to see myself skipping it. I don't know why they had to come out with another sparkle. I don't know why Lover's Lane required a re-release. I definitely don't know why Marshmallow required a re-release. That one should have just been a color gel from the set in a larger jar. G.I. Jane, I always felt was very old. Jane of the Jungle was always very similar. Yeah, Sassy Squatch I feel like didn't need a re-release. This one definitely, but where's my Unruly Red? Where's my Yellow Jacket? Where are my primary colors? Alright. And with that, my review is over. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like. Please leave a subscribe. Just probably note this is probably going to be one of my last comparison videos. This is an expensive hobby. Unless it's being crowdfunded or crowdsourced, which I will never probably ask for. I'm probably not going to be doing this again in the future. Take care, everybody, and be well.